When you hear the word procrastination, what comes to mind? At one point or another in each of our lives, we've had to deal with this word and its many definitions on a personal level. Now, I'll start by confessing something that may come as a shock to you. I'm a procrastinator. I've always been a procrastinator. Whenever there was a speech due or some report, I was always writing the last sentence an hour before it was due to be given. Maybe you don't know what procrastination is. I'm pretty sure that if you open up the dictionary, you will see my face, but alongside that picture, you'll see the word of definition. In the article, Procrastination's Relation with Fear of Failure, Competence Expectancy, and Intrinsic Motivation, it states that procrastination is the purposeful delay of the start or completion of a task. As this is a subject close to my heart and integrated into my very being, I hope that today I'll be able to give you a working knowledge of what procrastination is and why it occurs in our lives despite our best efforts. First, I'll start by reviewing the characteristics of a procrastinator. We're all guilty of some levels of procrastination, but what exactly does being a procrastinator look like? According to the Student Academic Services at Cal Poly, a procrastinator is often remarkably optimistic in their ability to complete an assignment on a deadline. A procrastinator says to themselves that they've got everything under control, so why start now? They believe that their internal schedule will work out, never having actually tested their theory. Procrastinators seem to have a complicated relationship with time. In the book Procrastination, Why You Do It, What to Do It Now, written by Jane Burka and Lenora Young, procrastinators often have a wishful thinking approach to time or see it as an opponent to outwit and outlive. Putting off tasks and pushing the limits of time allowed to the breaking point are key signatures of a procrastinator. Those who procrastinate might have other setbacks that keep them on a less than positive path. Low self-confidence in an individual causes them to set a high goal with little belief that they can actually achieve it, keeping them from moving forward with their task. Also, a characteristic of procrastination is that a person with more stubborn tendencies tends to procrastinate because they feel like they can do whatever and whenever and not be told otherwise. Now that we understand some of the characteristics of a procrastinator, we're going to take a look at why procrastination happens in the first place. Everyone has their reasons for procrastinating to some extent, but what are those reasons exactly? One reason that a person might find themselves procrastinating is their sense of perfectionism, aka unrealistically high expectations or standards. These expectations cause extreme dissatisfaction and frustration because it's not very often that everything is acceptably done the first go-round. Perfectionists sometimes think that it's better to give a half-hearted effort and maintain the belief that they could have written a great paper than to give full effort and risk writing a mediocre paper. Another reason a person could be subject to procrastination is because of certain fears. In the book, The Warrior's Guide to Overcoming Procrastination, Breaking Free from the Anxiety That Holds You Back, the fear of failure keeps one from moving forward because they are paralyzed by the thought of doing something that ends up being unsatisfactory. The fear of success is another prominent fear, one that keeps an individual from completing a task for fear of doing so well that they cannot stop and become a workaholic. A final reason for procrastination is a person's feeling of self-doubt. When one person believes in their abilities to achieve something, they are more likely to reach that goal. But when there is doubt, they are far more likely to put the task off in order to avoid the negative feelings associated with doubt. Self-doubt keeps an individual from bettering themselves and carrying on with a task because they feel as if they are not good enough in the first place, let alone able to bear the weight of potential failure. Though often associated with negative connotations, procrastination cannot be easily summed up by laziness and poor time management. While those play a part, it is only a small portion compared to the internal struggles waged in every human being on a daily basis. Procrastination is not an excuse, but instead a term given to a multitude of individual explanations.